Hi guys, I hope everybody is doing well today as always. Welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, hi, my name is Sydney. I am a travel designer and a travel blogger, a yachty, and someone who lives in Spain and is dating somebody who's British. But I'm from America and I'm from Florida and I've grown up on boats my whole life. So that's my short 10-second story. If you are new here, you'll be seeing a lot of stuff about travel, a lot of stuff about life in Europe, especially my life in Spain, my past life when I lived in Italy. Lots of good stuff. So welcome. Don't forget to subscribe and don't forget to give this video a thumbs up. So today, I'm doing a lot of weird stuff with my hands. Gonna try to not do that. But today I'm going to be talking about the 10 things that annoy me the most about living in Europe. Okay, and I want to preface all of this because, you know, tensions are like hot and heavy and the tensions are tense in America right now. And I just want to preface this by saying that I love my life in Europe, and this is by no means me bashing Europe. Please come on vacations to Europe. Let me turn off my computer. Okay. So, like I said, this is by no means me bashing Europe. I love living here, I adore living here, but things do annoy me about my life here sometimes, as they annoy me about my life when I lived in America. And I will be talking about those some other time too, so stay tuned for that video, because that one's gonna be spicy. So, as I preface that with all of the information that I don't hate living in Europe, but that things do annoy me because I'm a human. I'm allowed to get annoyed by things. I'm also just an irritable human. So let's keep that in mind. I also just want to say, in case you missed it, I live in Spain, so a lot of these things are relevant to Spain. This is not always a blanket true for everywhere in Europe, although I tried to pick things for this video that are mostly blanket true. Not always, but tend to be. So these are a little bit more Spain and Italy focused because that's where I've lived. So without further ado, let's get started on the 10 things that annoy me the most about living in Europe. Okay, number 1. The shops are always closed on Sundays. Europeans tend to take Sundays very seriously, and the Lord's Day, all of that good stuff, and they don't. Nothing's open on Sundays. Grocery stores, everything's closed. The shops, like literally just like clothing stores, so much is closed on Sundays. It's like I walk out of my apartment at like 11 or noon on a Sunday and it's like a ghost town. It is kind of crazy. So obviously on a Sunday, if you want to go to the store and buy some wine and some lunch, if you want to do a Sunday roast and you haven't prepped the day before, you're pretty much SOL, unless you want to drive to one of the bigger shops that's just outside of town, and that's if you have a car. And if you don't have a car, then you have to take a taxi or the bus, but the buses don't really run on Sundays. Sometimes they do, sometimes they don't. Your guess is as good as mine. And also the taxi drivers also like to take off on Sundays, so there's less taxis, but more people trying to get places because they're trying to see their friends or do, you know, things that you do on a Sunday, but you can't even find a taxi, so you're just gonna have to starve. And that's the first thing that annoys me about living in Europe. Okay, the second thing that annoys me so much about living in Europe, and this is truly something that I'm considering leaving Europe because of this reason. This does royally piss me off, is the mail and courier service is just ridiculous, especially the Spanish one. The Italian one's also bad, but the Spanish one is just the worst. First of all, why do I have to be home to get a package? Even if I don't have to sign, they won't leave it at my door. They can't get into my apartment building, even though there's a person who's always in the apartment building's office. Unless they're out at lunch, which they take an hour-and-a-half lunch, but then, like, you're Spanish. You know that people take an hour-and-a-half lunch at 1:30, so why would you come at that time? That's when you should also take your lunch, right? Things just don't deliver. I'm still waiting on my business cards that were supposed to be delivered on April 7th. It is now April 21st, and still not here. I'll keep you guys updated in the comments if my business cards ever show up. For Christmas last year, my mom bought me this beautiful original copy of a Mark Twain novel. She sent it, it never showed up. It finally got sent back to her. And this I didn't even get shipped to my apartment. This I got shipped to the yacht agent who is supposed to collect these things and help with the NIE numbers and making sure everything gets in and gets processed. It finally got shipped back to her. It was soaking wet. Why? We don't know. But it was soaking wet, moldy, and the book was pretty much ruined. So yeah, I pretty much hate the postal service here. Okay, number 3, you guys are gonna laugh at me about this one because this is like my American shows really hard with this thing about Europe that annoys me, is that superstores don't exist. Like, I mean, yes, like you can go to Carrefour and you can get some clothes, your toiletries, your groceries. It's kind of like a superstore, but you can't get everything. Like, you can't get inflatable pools. I mean, maybe you can, but I don't think you can get inflatable pools. I've never seen any there. They do have some electronic stuff, but like, it's not also an eye doctor and a pharmacy and whatever else we have in our Walmarts and Targets. They just don't have quite as much as we do. Like when I hear superstore, I want it all. I want a hairdresser. I want a bank. I want an ATM. I want my eye doctor. I mean, I think like there's one Walmart that even has like a gynecologist, you know, like I want it all in my shop. Not that I like Walmart by any means. I'm a Target girl for sure, but I'm just saying, Carrefour, you need to step up the game. I would like to buy paracetamol when I buy my turkeys. And that's that. Okay, number 4. This is like, obviously I was going with that same train of thought here, is I cannot stand Ikea. Like, cannot stand it. First of all, I don't love their furniture. I know most of the stuff in here is Ikea. I didn't buy it. It was just already here when I rented the apartment. Also, sorry, there's like weird lighting fluctuations going on. Maybe I can I up the brightness on this? No. Ooh, no. Okay. Sorry, yeah, there's like weird, it's cause like it's like kind of cloudy outside. Maybe I can lock the brightness on my face. There we go. Okay. Did it lock? I don't know. Anyways, after all of that, Ikea, yeah, I hate that place. Everybody's furniture looks the same. It's this scary one-way tunnel that you have to go through. The meatballs aren't that good, so don't try and tell me that they are. And you have to assemble everything yourself or pay extra for them to assemble it. You know, I would just rather buy some different furniture. And it doesn't even last. Like, they were supposed to be like, oh yes, you build it yourself, and oh yes, it's cheap, and oh yes, it's good. But like, it's not that cheap. It doesn't last that long, and it's not that easy to assemble. So forgive me for thinking Ikea is the absolute worst. Okay, so number 5 is literally anything to do with cars. I vehemently hate driving in Europe. I do drive quite a bit in Europe, but it is not by choice, it is by necessity. In Spain and in Italy and many other places, lanes are a suggestion. You don't have to follow them. It's just a general guideline. Maybe you stay in it, maybe you don't. Who knows? Same with blinkers, although that could also be said for Florida. I know. And just like, parking spaces are so small, and we have this massive work van. We finally got like a little, it's like a Duster, like a Subaru-ish looking thing. We finally got one of those, but it is also horrible to drive. The gearbox is like, freaking out every time. Everything's manual, which like I finally learned how to drive manual, but that took a whole another expedition within itself. And then the parking garages are so small. I broke our car because I was trying to go into the second level of the parking garage, and the corner's so tight, and the parking attendant man's like, go, just go, you're blocking traffic. And I was like, I don't think I'm gonna make it around this corner. He's like, no, you're fine, just go. I go, and then I'm like, I'm not gonna make it. So then I go to back up. As soon as I back up, it's a manual, it's a lot more difficult, and I put it in reverse, put it in reverse, Terry. I start to roll down. Before I can back up, the window crunches against the side and bashes the back window in. Thankfully, some super nice German man came over and helped me get the car down there. I don't know how my boyfriend managed to get it out of the parking garage, but it was a complete mess. I also had a really bad stomach and was literally about to poop myself. It was a horrific day, and there's like no glass to be found in Europe right now because of the war going on with Ukraine. It was just chaos. You know, and then it's just like anytime you go into a parking lot, somebody's got to scream at you. And I'm like, don't scream at me. I'm just trying to drive here. The road rage, man, is just unbelievable. Okay, so number 6 is one that I have a love-hate relationship with about Europe. And it is having to request the check. Like at home in the US, when they think you're done with your meal, like you've got your food, you've ordered your drinks, they'll just bring you the check, or they'll ask you, hey, would you like me to bring the check? How was everything? Forget that. You're never gonna get asked that in Spain, like ever. You literally might have to go and like physically grab the person and go get the check yourself, because this doesn't always work. The hello, like, can I please get some service, does not work. It's mind blowing. I'm like, I just wanna pay for my food and get out of here, and then you guys can get another table in. But no, this quick hour lunch is now an hour and 45 minutes because the last 45 minutes I've spent trying to hail the server to just pay for my food. I don't even want anything except to pay and leave. Like, I've gotten to the point where I'm like, should I just walk out? Maybe they'll chase me down the street and then I'll be allowed to pay. It's truly mind-blowing. It is. Continuing on the thought of food, my other least favorite thing, this is like living in the city, is I hate toting my groceries around. It's like, because everybody, I guess, I should adapt. This is me. This is definitely me. I should adapt. I should go to the grocery store once a day, just get what we're gonna cook that day. But I hate leaving the apartment. I like the comfort and safety that I have here. I don't wanna have to leave. I don't wanna have to go and buy my groceries every day. I just wanna do one big shop a week and then be done with it. I can't get deliveries to my apartment because I can't fit on the street. So just toting my groceries back to my apartment. If you want to buy more than one bottle of wine, which I usually do, like if you want to buy milk and wine and one other drink, water, because you can't drink the tap water because it's disgusting, then you're like literally like breaking your arm as you're walking home. It's so silly. And like I keep trying to find, like all these old ladies have these like little cart things that they like tote their groceries around. I can't find one. I don't know where they get them. So I've like asked and they're like, Ma. I'm like, give me yours. It's just, they don't like that. But yeah, it's very frustrating. I don't like it. Okay. This is also something that I really should just adapt to. And I have, and I don't mind it. It's actually better for me, but it still irritates the living bejesus out of me, is like not having a dryer. It's just immensely frustrating. I cannot stand it. I know it's better to hang dry my clothes, but like sometimes just having like a nice dried cotton t-shirt is wonderful, and like drying my linens and not having to wait for my clothes, and like my bathroom not being filled with hanging laundry, and we're just like, oh, you'll think it's romantic later on. I'm like, no, give me my big ass American washing machine and my big ass American dryer, so I can just do my laundry and be done instead of waiting for 3 days for my clothes to dry. It's not romantic. It's annoying. Okay, what number are we on? Number 9. We're almost there, guys. And then I promise my next one will be 10 things I love about living in Europe, because there are lots of things that I love. But this is like a European thing to the max, is why are there no air conditioners in airports in the middle of Spain in summer? In Madrid, they like aren't running the AC. It is so hot in that place and people are mad. The lines are long, customs is being horrible, and then there's no AC, and I'm literally scared there's about to be a riot because people are being so crazy. It's just horrific. And just actually like European airports in general really stress me out. Like, you pay for your level of security clearance. Like you can do like a fast track, like shortened security, VIP security, but you just like pay for it, which is interesting. Like, I got it for free when I upgraded to business class on one of my flights. I was like, why am I going to this special line? Oh, because I can afford to pay for business class means I'm not a not safe person. Also, I have been on flights, especially, and this isn't even in Spain. In Spain, they check my ID. I've like gone on flights in Sweden and have never had anybody look at my ID the entire time. I just like walked on with the ticket, walked on the plane with the ticket, got off, gone back to Sweden, left Sweden, came into Sweden. Nobody ever looked at my ID, not my passport, not my driver's license. I could have been anybody with that ticket getting on that plane. I was like, can I please tell you who I am? They're like, no, just get on the plane, girl, you go. I'm like, okay. My only guess is they have like such like advanced security up in Sweden. Like the cameras know that I'm coming to the airport before I've even booked my ticket. But I don't think that's the case. But it is my hope. Also, like, they will throw away my granola, but yeah, I don't have to take my liquids and my laptop out of my bag. But they're like, granola! Yeah, I don't feel safe. Okay, and the final one, and I know this pisses off so many Americans when they even visit Europe, but also me when I'm living in Europe, and like I've tried to get used to it, but I hate paying for water. Like I cannot stand it, but yet here I am. It's what I do, is I pay for water. Yeah, and I get it if the drinking water is bad, but for the most part, it's not. Here on the island, in the town, it's pretty gross, I won't lie. But the rest of Spain and Italy there's plenty of places that have very decent drinking water, yet they still charge you for the water. And if you ask for tap water, they're like, from the tap? Like, yes, please, from the tap. I don't need to pay honestly, half the time it is more expensive for a bottle of water than it is for a glass of wine. So this is my consolation. I'm saving money when I have wine. It's better than the water. So that's that. But yes, it is one of the most irritating things about living in Europe. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video about the 10 things that annoy me about living in Europe. I know it was a bit sassy. I promise that soon I will do a video about the 10 things I love about living in Europe, because there are so many things. It's truly amazing, and I'm so fortunate to live here, but it is hard to be an expat in another country. I'm now going on my third non-consecutive year of living in Europe. So I lived in Italy for a year, and now I've almost been in Spain for 2 years. September will be 2 years, so I'm getting very close. So yeah, I'm looking forward to telling you guys all the things that I love about living here, because this one was really sassy. So if you liked this video, please give it a thumbs up. Let me know in the comments below what annoys you about living in Europe, because if you live in Europe, there's gonna be something that annoys you because it's not home, and that's fine that it's not home, but I know it's the postal service. I know that's what it is. So anyways, I look forward to hearing from you guys, and I will chat to you soon. Bye.